Hey, I've got a electric 110 volt chainsaw that I'm going to be trying out to cut a tree down. I've got a little cord. They're not real proud of it. The model number is hard to find. It's in very fine print, but it is on the manual here. It's a CMECH600. But normally, you know, the model number is plastered somewhere on the machine, usually on a chainsaw, but this one is very fine print here on the side, so they're not very proud of it, but that's okay. I'm going to give it a try. I've never used an electric chainsaw before, but the trees aren't that big that I'm cutting, and I don't have that many to do, and these days that I don't really heat with wood anymore, so I'm not using my saws very much, and when I do go get them, when I need to use them, the gas saws, it seems like the chore turns into trying to get the saw started, and I'll spend anywhere from 10 minutes to an hour. You know, usually there's a hose that's rotted off, or you know, just no telling. So I got tired of that. I just want an electric saw that I can plug in, turn on, and cut wood when I need to cut some wood. So I want to look into this one a little bit. I assembled it. Didn't come with a bar attached, but I wanted to show you some things to be careful about. There's a lot of plastic parts in here, and you got to be careful not to be heavy-handed about it. And I'll show you, I've read some reviews on these saws, electric saws, and a lot of them have issues with things breaking. And this is the tensioner here. It just drives a little bar that pulls this pin here that pulls the bar in and out. But I'll show you, I'm releasing the tension right now so I can remove the bar. The issue I can see already is this little piece here. You know, you'd think that'd be metal, but it's plastic. Let me zoom in on that so you can see. So there's a close-up look. This is the chain drive coming right off of the motor. That's the sprocket. Kind of an odd sprocket, but it looks like it's designed to retain the chain. Normally they're fully enclosed. I've never seen one like that before, but that may be why the chains pop off sometimes. But what I'm talking about is this little pin here that's, you can see it riding back and forth. This shaft here is metal, but it goes into this block, into this pin, and this pin is plastic. And so I can see that easily shearing off, and I guess it wouldn't be that hard for me to make one of those. I could just get a nut that's threaded for that and weld a stud onto that and shape that and make, if I need to fix it, I can fix it. Looks like just remove these 3 screws. I've read online about it where they say that part breaks and they're on back order. You know, they can't make them fast enough, I guess. But anyway, if mine breaks today, I'm going to take it back. But I'm just going to know not to, and be mindful not to over tension it, because it is going to break, and it's probably designed to be the weak point in the system, to be the first thing that breaks. And they probably made it weak by design. And so I'm going to go ahead and put the blade back on here. So there it is, and normally there's 2 pins that engage the bar, and this one is only 1, so that actually makes it a little weaker still. But I've never really looked at an electric saw before, so maybe that's just par for the course. Anyway, I'm going to tension it back a little bit, so I can feel it. I can feel it starting to get tensioned by the knob. And then this piece here. There's a tab right here, little plastic tab that goes into the slot right here, and that needs to be engaged first. And then there's this thread, the threads here, this is a metal insert that goes, this sort of guides this disc onto the stud there. And this whole entire thing here spins when you want to tension it, and basically it clamps against here and gives the bar its clamping force. So I'm going to go ahead and spin that back on. So everything's feels like it's back. And they say the way to test it, the proper tension, is to pull the blade down 1/8 of an inch and let it snap back. Which mine does. I'm going to remove a little tension. I don't want to over tighten it because this whole thing is, you know, plastic. I'm going to go with that, tighten that down. So I think what people might be doing, maybe they're turning this without loosening that. I don't know. Don't really know. There's all kinds of things like that can happen. I've seen people break gas saws. So hopefully the bad reviews on the saw are just from people not understanding the limitations of plastic and just general use of a saw. So anyway, I'm gonna put some oil in here and go outside. I've got a tree that I'm gonna cut down, and it's a small tree, but nevertheless I need to cut it down. So we'll go outside and try this out. So I've got some oil, bar oil in the saw here, and I filled it up. It's got a little indicator there. I haven't powered it up yet, so I'm going to see if it works. There's a hook in here. That's where you pass the wire through and anchor it down. They've also got a shield on here. Excuse me. There's a shield here, and it shows that the plug here is polarized. It's a wide blade and a narrow blade. Narrow blade being the 110 volt, the wide one neutral. So you have to polarize. It's a polarized plug, so you have to plug it in properly. I've got it plugged in, and then on the side here there's a button you push to unblock the safety. And I'm going to see if this thing turns over. It's actually a little bit louder than I thought it would be. I was expecting to not have to use earplugs, but I think I'm going to want some. I'm going to put this in here to anchor it. That way it won't come unplugged. So now she's ready to go. I'm going to set it up over by the tree and we'll check it out. I'm going to go get some earplugs though. So there in the background is the Poulin 2150 that I've had for several years. It used to be pretty good. It was good for a few years, and then it got to where it would not start when I needed it to. And I could fiddle around with it and make it start, fiddle around with it and make it start. And then lately, the last few times I used it, when I would get it running, it just didn't seem to run very good. And today when I was trying to get it started, the spark, it didn't appear to be very strong. It had a spark, but not very strong. So I'm just kind of done messing around with it. I think this electric one will work just as well as that little 2150. I've got a pretty big Poulin chainsaw that if I really want to cut a large tree, I'll go get that thing, and that one usually starts pretty good. Well, the saw cut great for a few minutes, and then the blade came out. Could have been my fault. I should have checked the tension. I'm going to go ahead and check it out. I'm going to unplug it here. And I was cutting on the top of the bar. Maybe it doesn't like that. I've never had a problem with that on my other saws. But This isn't like any of my other saws. Or maybe I should have checked the tension. I don't know. Let's see what's going on here. But it was working pretty good for a short while. With a sharp blade, it was pretty fun. Just confirming she's unplugged. I'm going to reduce some tension. In other words, bring the bar back a little bit. Yeah, it was my first trial with an electric saw. Pretty nice, I mean, until the blade flew off. It's kind of small, you know. Blade's small. It's not throwing huge chunks, you know, but I wasn't really expecting any of that. But I was expecting the, you know, chain to stay on. Here we go, I've got it engaged again. Not a big fan of that gear there, that drive gear looks a little funky to me. But I'm going to get it close on the tension again. And I guess I'm going to stick to cutting on the bottom of the bar. Maybe that's what it likes. Who knows? Let's see if she's still going to rotate. All right. I don't have much left of the tree to do. So far, you know, I'd say I'm pretty happy with this thing. Don't want to cut the cord. Had one little mishap there. I don't know why the chain came off, but maybe I was pushing it too hard. Still got good tension. It's staying up. I'm gonna leave it alone. But does pretty good for you know, just a little branching and trimming. A lot less drama than that guy right there.